my next two guests are two of my favorite human beings on this or any other planet. Lisa Mordente is a Tony-nominated actress, singer, and dancer who made her Broadway debut opposite Alexis Smith in Platinum. She also starred in Marlowe on Broadway and was assistant choreographer. Wait, no, that's not right. Yes, she was the assistant choreographer for The Who's Tommy on Broadway and the choreographer for all the nuns, the dancing, singing nuns in the movie Sister Act. Oh, yeah, we're going to ask about that. And then there's her mother. You want to talk awards? Is that what you want to do here? She has 10 Tony nominations, two Tony Awards, and little things like the Presidential Medal of Freedom, a Kennedy Center honor, and was named, this might be my favorite, a New York City Living Landmark. When you're a Broadway fan, she's the crown jewel of guests. Do you know how excited I am to welcome to our screen Lisa Mordente and Chita Rivera? Oh, well,
Hello.
you look great.
I've never looked better.
You look gorgeous.
Oh,
It's the COVID.
my God. It's the COVID.
It's Halloween.
Yes, I know. It is almost Halloween.
That's
Yes.
right.
We are investing.
I was very impressed by that, my friends. How are you?
Hi, honey.
Hi, you look good.
Oh, I do. So do you. You look great.
Uh-oh.
Really.
Yeah.
Please, I'm lit. I have light. My apartment, my one-bedroom apartment has become like PBS. I have lights, microphones. It's like the Ed Sullivan Show. I swear to God.
But it's so cool. This is so awesome.
It's so
You
fun.
know what? There's another one I can show you.
Yes.
Hand it to me, Lisa.
What? Uh-oh.
Well,
Is there more?
My mother.
This is my
My mother.
favorite.
My mother used to
pastime.
scare me when I was a little girl. She used to hire people. So
Oh.
this is her time. She
This-
did.
Okay, this
All
is
right.
the other one. These
Ew.
are going out on the front lawn.
Oh. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I did the voiceover for that.
What
Oh
else are you supposed to do at this horrible time?
I mean, really,
Yeah.
because Halloween, there's not going to be any trick-or-treating, is there?
No.
Well, I know. I mean, we had a guy, really sweet guy, come up and that brought us.
Oh, right.
Because we ordered these, and there's a big pumpkin on the front porch. And,
Yes.
And he's not ugly. He's just big and wonderful, and he's sitting on the step. And this guy clearly has had experience.
And this is not a really scary pumpkin.
Oh no,
Right.
no,
Wait,
no.
okay.
But
Just
the
a
guy
friendly
wanted-
pumpkin.
Yeah. But the guy looked at Rosie, answered the door, and the guy looked at Rosie and said, "Does it do anything?
He wouldn't come up the stairs.
Does it move?"
That's so weird.
Oh my God.
Well,
Oh,
I
if
don't know.
only it had.
What?
Okay, I'm
Julie.
seeing a very different.
Julie Halston.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's
Oh.
a lot of cheetahs here.
There are a lot of Cheetos. I know several of them. I have a
Yeah,
feeling I
yeah.
don't know them all, though.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. But come live here. You can. Get
Okay. Good night, everybody. How's everything in Rockland County? Are you surviving, or what are you doing? Are you cooking? What's happening?
You know what? We're cooking less than we ever have, aren't we?
Yeah.
Suddenly
Really?
it turned into deliveries and masks and
Oh.
waiting but it's like,
I mean, it's that dreaded question.
oh, good Lord.
Every day around the same time, around 5 o'clock,
Oh.
we look at each other and say, "What's for dinner?"
And you want to just cry.
Right.
Just
Serious.
But you do cook.
Yeah.
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 Don't yell. I'm just asking. Okay. Wait.
Cook and we, but it's like, oh, enough already. We want to get out. We
I
want
know.
to, we went out for the first time
Oh yeah.
last, what was it?
A great restaurant
Yeah.
called Fresca.
Oh,
It's in a very old house.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I mean, it's like over 200 years old.
how
And
great.
it's absolutely wonderful food.
Yeah,
It's Italian.
Italiano.
And it's real dining. But they have some martinis that are so good. And we went out the other day for the
It was
very
nice.
first time.
It was nice to go out.
And it was fabulous. Oh, we went with Christina.
Yeah, Christina
and
Serena.
Laura. Yeah. Laura.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a gift to go out now.
Oh my God.
We went to West Bank
West Bank.
the other night and sat on the patio, the sidewalk. We're on the sidewalk with, semis driving by.
Oh my God.
And our friend Gabrielle Stravelli was singing. And it was it was so touching
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do what we do every night of the week, but to finally be able to do it again after 7 months and to be able to clap for our friends. And
It's
just
a
brought,
stimulation too. It's
Oh.
being,
Well, it's also
being fed.
and it's being with people. It's being alive.
Yeah.
It's being with
Yeah.
the breath of other people. It's very important. I mean, I think this is great, but you can't replace for me.
No way. Yeah.
You cannot.
Right.
I love Birdland.
Yeah.
me
Love it.
too. So are you saying you're not going to do all that jazz in your living room?
Don't make me take this monster out. Don't make me bring my mom.
If I had a nickel. Now, okay. I want to give the audience some background.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you can just put your feet up for a second. Life imitated art backstage during the original West Side Story on Broadway when a jet and a shark got together. The shark was Anita, played by Chita Rivera. The jet was Action, played by Tony Mordente.
Well, it was Arab.
Arab.
Yeah,
Arab.
Arab in the show, Action
In the movie.
Yeah.
That's right.
Got it. Okay. Arab, played by Tony Mordente. The cast was told not to fraternize with the rival gang, and somehow, against all odds, Lisa Mordente.
The only living jet shark.
Half jet, half shark.
Half jet, half shark.
I mean, that deserves a show code or something.
It's
I
kind
mean,
of cool. It's kind of cool.
truly. So Chita, you were pregnant with Lisa doing Anita in West Side Story.
Right.
Dancing.
6 months. 6
You're-
months.
I mean, my doctor came. He said, maybe I should come see the show.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, yeah, by all means. And by this time, the boys were, calling me all sorts of names, but gently putting me down. Gently taunting me.
Lifting.
Gently. They were so sweet. And the doctor comes to see the show. He comes after the show and he looks at me and he says, get out.
Get off the stage.
Out now. Get off the stage.
You knew that was going to happen.
The amazing thing about keeping yourself active, which I am not doing enough of, Lisa. And all of that is you stay in shape. You really do. Everything talks to everything else. It's alive. And the curtain came down my last night, and I suddenly was pregnant. I suddenly looked like I had a little bit too much to, eat.
Right.
And but before that, I was there. I was like this.
Did they ever have to take out your costume?
I don't think so.
I mean,
So you went 6 months
Yeah, I was in the show.
Looking like Anita. I mean, Anita can't be pregnant. That's a whole other story.
No, she can't.
No, it's not attractive.
No.
But Lisa, you must, I mean, I can't help but think that music, when you hear that music, it must be in your DNA somehow.
It is. It totally is. I feel things that it's like, why am I feeling emotional about this certain part?
Right.
And this and that, when it's not, you know, it's not that emotional, but, and Mom would say, oh, I was in the wings. I used to cry every night. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it makes sense.
Of course.
You know, it's very simple, but it makes sense. So I have a connection with that show that's just,
I can't imagine.
very intense.
Well, also, Jim, her father directed it at Burt Reynolds.
Oh, yes. Quite a few years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
the theater in Jupiter,
Yes.
Florida. Yeah.
And I went to see it, and Lisa played the part of
Her.
Anita.
Yeah.
That was a round trip.
That was
It
really
was
cool.
so exciting. As a matter of fact,
Oh, yeah.
this picture
Oh.
behind me, well, you can't really
can't see
see it.
Oh, I'll put my
But-
glasses on. I'll see it.
It's
Yeah.
a wonderful, wonderful picture of the cast seeing Lisa and myself embrace.
Right at, yeah. that
Right
moment.
after, and it was such a true talk about live, being alive.
Yeah.
The faces on the kids
Oh, yeah.
are so.
Oh my
beautiful.
God.
They're like,
You know, they're sharing that wonderful moment, and Lisa is kind of like looking. Did I do okay, Mom? And
Ah,
oh my God! You know, it was just.
it was great. That
I
was
mean, first of all, it's nervous making to perform in front of your mother, no matter who your mother is.
exactly.
Secondly, you're performing Anita, which was created by your mother. I mean, this must have been like crazy making.
It was, well, like we were saying with the connection, I felt oddly, even though of course we know about nerves and all that craziness, I felt oddly in the right place. Do you know what I mean? It like,
Felt
Well, that says it all.
I felt connected to it. I just went with it because at first I was like, there is no way I'm going to do this show. Burt Reynolds called and said, please do West Side. I'm like, get out of here. What am I going to shoot myself? That's my mother's role. I'm like, so he said, well, what if I got your dad to direct it? And,
Oh, God.
And I'm like,
Isn't
yeah,
that great? That's
as if. I'm like, sure, I'll do it. And he calls back and says, well, you got, and I thought, oh my God, okay, I just have to get into the right place. And I did, and my father was amazing. He's a great director anyway. But in recreating what, you know, they did, and basically the original choreography. And the only thing that he was so cute. The only thing he was uncomfortable with was staging the taunting scene.
Right.
He was like, well, yeah, you guys throw around of, okay, that's enough. It was cute.
That's so
The easiest taunting scene ever.
Ever.
Just like that.
Ever. We
Well, now-
rehearsed it, I think, maybe once.
I have been in the audience with Cheetah when you've sung. And I love, of course, I love watching you sing because I love your voice, but I love watching Cheetah watch you because I know she's a fan. But Lisa, what's it like for you watching your mom perform all these years?
That's another natural. It's kind of like that's what when I was a little itty bitty. First, I was in West Side, so I was feeling that.
Yes.
And especially when Mom said she like became pregnant when the curtain came down. That was me
Yes.
stretching, going,
Oh yeah, it was.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
She went, oh, finally, I'm free.
So then I was always backstage, you know, if not in a crib, you know, as I got older. And so that part was really natural for me to see Mama performing, and then getting old enough to like sit in the orchestra pit and watch all of this, like these brilliant performers and dancers and original shows that were amazing.
The Gwen Verdon.
You know, seeing that happen in front of you, you know, seeing Chicago created with Bob Fosse. I mean, it was just breathtaking. But it was like that's us, you know.
Right.
So to start performing was kind of like, yeah, you know.
Of course, but of course. Now let's talk about dancers. Here's what I find. I love singers. I love actors. I love ventriloquists. You know me. I like anybody that's talented. Not ventriloquists, but everybody else. What is it about dancers? Dancers are always have the fastest minds, the funniest, the easiest hangs. What makes that happen? Why are they so cool?
Okay, me? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you sit around and you hear musicians improvising, how they are so giving, because they have to make music together.
Yeah.
They have to feel together.
Connected, yeah.
They must be connected. This question is a beautiful question. Dancers, first of all, I love the chorus line because I love the fact that you can feel the person all the way at the end because we're totally connected. We've got to tell a story without words. We need each other.
Yeah.
Which is what the world needs now, anyhow. But we need each other. We have to be very precise. We've got to tell that story so that the choreographer or the director can see what he wants and what he needs to see. We have got to translate it so that
and be together on stage without knocking into each other. So you have to learn space.
And you have to. You've got eyes in the back of your head. You have to have eyes in the back of your head. And dancers, it hurts. So you better have a sense of humor. And dancers all have a sense of humor.
They better, right?
They have.
But it really is true. It's unbelievable. I don't know one dull dancer. They're always funny, always sharp.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So your Broadway careers have been celebrated and well documented. That's for sure. But what about the nightclub scene? You know, that's what I'm so jazzed by that world. Literally. Chita, when did you first do an act in a nightclub?
When Bob Fosse had the heart attack during the very first day of Chicago.
Yeah, the reading. You guys were
the reading. We've been doing the reading, and Gwen was sitting there knitting because she had to knit in a scene. And
that's right.
Gwen, did you notice I said Gwen? Forget about the last name. I just dropped names.
You know, if Chita says Gwen, it's not like Gwen Lipschitz. It's Gwen Verdon.
Well, I mean, I first saw her in films, and I dreamt, of a Gwen Verdon. But anyhow, so it was.
You're in rehearsal.
We're in rehearsal. We finish the read through, and we go into a room, and all of a sudden there's time. It's just time, and we find out later that Fosse had a heart attack, and he was rushed to the hospital. And we didn't know what life was going to be like. We didn't know what the next moment was going to be like. And we find out that we are without a show. You know, we had just moved in from California.
From LA, that's right. Rented furniture. It's like
everything was rented in the apartment. And so time, a little bit of time happened. But then Ron Field, Fred Ebb, and John Kander said, let's do a show for Cheetah. Let's write a club act. And I went, I can't do a club act. I mean, I don't even know who I am. You know, who is Cheetah? I can't talk to an audience. I can play a character that's written, but little did I know that I'm looking into the face of geniuses. Fred Ebb, John Kander, and Ron Field.
Wow.
And something inside of me, which is what I tell the kids all the time, you gotta be ready, you gotta listen, you gotta see, you've got to be prepared. Be ready is what I always say.
And say yes.
And say yes. Don't be afraid. But don't be afraid. Just give of yourself and trust. Trust and want to do it. You have to want. You've got to have that desire. And I had all of that, you know. And I was chosen by Fred Ebb, John Kander, and Ron Field. And it was, I played the gay bars. It was so fabulous. I mean, I played.
Was that the grand finale?
Yeah,
grand finale
on West 70th Street.
What was the place in LA that was so great?
Studio One.
Yeah,
Studio One.
That's exactly right. And that was the time when all of that was so ready,
that
so
was so
hot,
amazing.
So, I mean, we built the stage, and I had two guys. I had Tony Stevens, and Chris Chadman. These
man.
Were, and
so
Peter Howard was the piano player. And
I mean, it's just the best.
Yes,
and
I'm afraid it was.
It doesn't get better. But the lyric that came out of that, nothing could be sweeter than to dance and sing with Cheetah.
Oh, no, you know what it was? Nothing could be sweeter than to dance with Cheetah Beta.
Oh, that's right.
Cheetah Beta.
Because that's what my friends called me.
Right.
Cheetah Beta. Cheetah Beta. And
was that show ever recorded?
Yeah,
I think we've got it. But wait a minute. It's the last two lines. Make my life complete-a. Let me be with Cheetah Beta. Yeah. That was so awesome.
I have to hear this.
It was so, I'm in goose pimples now because your show is bringing back such wonderful, blessed memories.
Yeah.
And they've made me who I am today.
It was so amazing.
Whoever
it was
that
so
is.
real.
Well, I mean, especially Cheetah. I mean, you could sing your hits all night, but you always had the greatest special material, thanks to Fred and John, like Trash.
Excuse me. Or what about Pain?
Pain. Genius.
I mean, dancers have pain. And so it was set. I can't remember who said it. Maybe it was Tony Stevens who set that number. But
I think it was Tony, actually.
Why don't they mention the pain? Why don't they mention the terrible aches, the crack of the bone at the moment it breaks? Why don't they mention the pain? You know, because dancers are, they have to make everything look effortless.
Of course.
And you want the audience to feel as though they can do it. Well, they can't. They can't. But we have to make them feel as if they can. And it was Freddie that knew exactly. Well, you know Freddie very, very well.
I did.
Luck. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I am to this very day, still living with the Spider Woman and Chicago music and the Visit music and all of those shows. The material is so wonderful that it still is brilliant.
That's the thing, is it sounds as fresh
Oh my God.
this minute as it did when you sang it the first time. Yeah. Well, West Side too. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
and Bertie and all that.
And Bertie and Charles.
Yes.
Leonard Bernstein with West Side and Stephen Sondheim. I mean, this
kind of good people.
This is
it's good.
A very lucky gal right here.
Well, Lisa, you sing, you dance, you have great stories. You've seen everything. When's the act?
Oh. Now that you mention it, well, once we can get back on the stage and you and I get into a room, thank you,
yes,
we are going to do, and it has to be at Birdland. And right before all of this craziness began, we were just starting to do it.
I know.
So, yes, right. It'll be like the first thing we do. It has to be. I mean,
I'm so there.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, you know, Jim, it was so funny. The first time I saw Lisa perform, I was a nervous wreck because
I bet.
I just, you know, because of my luck and my experience, I know. So I know what I hear, I know what I see, and I like to be honest, but I'm a mother. And I, you know, and so Lisa comes on stage and I'm like this. I'm like this. I'm like hiding from what? From the truth. And all of a sudden she starts, Jim. And I go.
There you go. Shoulders down. Breathe.
Relax,
you can breathe.
And I went, damn. Okay. Oh. Thank you, God. Thank you, Lisa. She was perfect. She
in
was
that order.
Divine. I just loved. I was ever so grateful.
I was just gonna say,
ever
thank
so
God,
grateful.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, you would still love her.
Oh no, there's no.
However,
but I didn't have to lie, Jim.
I know.
I didn't have.
Can you imagine?
Not have to lie.
And she knows you so well, she would know you were lying.
Totally.
That was great. Well, Lisa brought up nerves. When I look at Cheetah on stage, and certainly in a nightclub, you seem to be a mountain of confidence. Just were you always that sure of what you were doing? Both of you. This is for both of you. Are you sure of what you're doing on stage at this point?
Hell no.
Okay.
No, not at all, because you're alive and you're human and anything can happen.
Yeah.
I mean, and you have to be prepared to be real and to be you. And so if an audience, if somebody in the audience is sneezing and they won't stop, you can't ignore it because the entire audience knows that. Or somebody, you know, I love it when you're on this tiny stage, which I love all sizes. I think all sizes are valuable, but
Michael
54,
54 and Michael Feinstein.
Right. You know, and somebody has like
dinner right in front of you.
I know, they're like,
while you're singing something really important, it is best to have some kind of repartee.
Yes.
It is best so that the people around you don't think that you don't see it.
Right.
And of course you do.
You have to mention it.
And you have to be able to, you gotta say something. Yeah.
Yes. Well, but that's what we learn in nightclubs that people don't learn anywhere else. And I think especially if you've played nightclubs like we have, like every night, it's hard now because so many gigs are a Friday and a Saturday.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, how do you learn anything from that?
Right.
But I always say, if somebody drops a tray of drinks, I will talk about that for a half an hour if I have to.
That's material.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah. Please, you hope for things like that.
That's so true.
I don't
Please drop the drinks. Well, you know.
Well, you were every time we saw you.
Oh God.
We loved seeing you.
Oh,
we
you're the
loved
best.
hearing you sing.
The best.
You are funny.
Oh my God.
You are fast. You're a whip, and you're comfortable. You know,
It's your thing.
Jim, you're comfortable, and that makes us comfortable. You know what I mean? But
I
then
do.
there's
I know
that-
exactly what you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then there is that tiny film of artist that is different from you sitting in an audience. The difference is that wall, that fourth wall that you never come across, but unless somebody drops a tray, you know, but you have that fourth wall there, that the it factor.
Yeah.
The it factor. And that's when you know somebody belongs there or they don't. The it factor. I mean, there was a song in Chicago, you gotta have it. The girl without it just might as well quit. You gotta have it. Well, thank you, Lisa.
That's it.
That's it. And you belong. And so it's a joy to see you grow the way you do, you know, and the good stuff we've seen.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
definitely.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you. But enough about me. Lisa, what do you think of me? No. Lisa, you've seen so much showbiz, both from on stage and from the orchestra pit. Tell me a showbiz moment that you didn't get to see that you wish you would have witnessed.
Oh, don't ask me.
You mean with Mom?
No, just whatever.
Any. Jeez, Louise.
Gosh.
I'm terrible.
I've seen so many. You're right.
I know. But that's why I'm asking you, because you've seen so much. I mean, other than West Side opening night.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, duh.
But
That's funny.
jeez.
Well, you can get back with me. You can
I have to think about that.
message me. Yeah. I wish I would have seen Cheetah and Carol Burnett and Caterina Valenti singing I Enjoy Being a Girl. I wish I would have been in the audience for that.
That was fun.
Look it up on YouTube, people.
Yeah.
It is hilarious.
That's
And-
one of my faves.
And
Yeah.
you know who my favorite leading man is, don't you?
Oh, of course.
Tell Jim.
Bella. No, not Bella. How can I?
Dick Van Dyke.
Boris Karloff.
That's my favorite leading man, Boris Karloff.
Well, he was hot.
And what? Say it.
He was hot.
Actually,
But actually,
he was good
he
looking.
was
man.
very,
Yeah.
very good looking. But I was doing the Carol Burnett show.
I know.
Yes.
And he was on it. And my favorite leading man was Frankenstein, of course. And
you
he
were
played
scared.
it. But I love being scared. You see, but I saw him in his suit and his tie, and of course, this is a man that wrote those darling children's books.
Yeah, he was
And the
really
whole-
Yes.
stories.
and
yeah.
he was gorgeous and the gray hair. But Jim, he took two steps, and it was Frankenstein. You hear me? I don't care how handsome you are. I don't care how many children's books you've written. I don't care how you sang a song with Carol Burnett.
That was it.
Still Frank. He was still Frank.
It's hard to find somebody attractive if they can't move. If they can't. I mean, have you liked somebody that then you saw them dance and you were like,
Well, you know what? But I do remember Tony Bennett, and Tony Bennett was he. You know how people move the same arm as leg?
yes.
Oh God,
a lot of singers do that. You know, but Tony Bennett made his awkwardness his own. If you make it your own, then you're okay.
Right.
But you can't imitate someone.
So you own it.
Yeah.
So if you own it, and he was about as awkward as you could be, but he was delicious because it was Tony Bennett who had this voice.
Oh my God, yeah.
And he was doing this thing.
Yeah.
That's
so funny. But handsome. I mean, he was handsome too.
God.
That doesn't hurt.
No, I mean, it was perfect the way.
If you can't move, be handsome. I'm going to make a bumper sticker. We've gotten some questions from some viewers. From Becky. Cheetah, do you feel a responsibility as the OG, which means original gangster, of the Broadway scene?
Oh.
Do you feel a responsibility?
For what?
Just of the Broadway scene.
Well, I think you're responsible, period. Yes, absolutely. I think you're responsible for being alive. I think you're responsible for being, you know, I have a little person inside me. I think we all do. And her name, because my real name is Dolores Conchita Figueroa del Rivero. But I changed my name to Cheetah, well, O'Hara for 2 days, but Cheetah Rivera, right?
Cheetah O'Hara?
You know that.
Did not know that.
You're kidding me.
Really?
Did not know that Cheetah O'Hara was a possibility.
For 2 days. And until everybody called and said, Cheetah O'Hara, click. but then I became Cheetah Rivera. But deep down inside, there was Dolores. And Dolores is the one that really is responsible for me being bombastic and moody.
Lisa, moody.
Me. But
did I say moody?
But getting back to the
responsibility.
Question, yes. Absolutely.
So many kids look to you as the ultimate. I mean, you're the ultimate on the scene, you know, especially for the dancers.
But I really want the dancers to feel themselves, to be themselves. And most of all, to be ready when they're asked to do something. Be on time, obedient, listen, look, and speak. And I feel tremendously responsible for whatever it is I do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere. I mean, here.
Yeah.
You know,
there's never been a breath of gossip or snarky conversation about you. That's amazing in a career.
Yeah.
The length and breadth that you've had. Okay, Lisa, from Scott. This is from Scott. Tell us about choreographing the nuns in Sister Act.
Oh my God, that was such an experience because I did not expect to be doing that. Lester Wilson was doing the whole thing, and he was one of my dads. You know, I mean, you know, Joe Tremaine, and it's so many. But Lester called and said, "Listen, could you help me out because I'm doing like Diana Ross's act and this person, and I need help for a couple of days, just in the beginning. And I'm like, of course. And we worked together, and it was fun, and met everybody, and it was a whole different thing, you know, movies and stuff. And after a couple of days, Lester felt comfortable enough, which I didn't realize at the time, to just say, go ahead, do it. And I'm going to go over here with Diana.
Oh.
And I was there. And I thought, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've never done this. You know, I didn't know about camera angles and shots as far as choreography and stuff were concerned, because you couldn't use an arm or a hand. So I had to literally get rid of everything in my head and just be, and try to go as organic to the music that they were singing, which was completely the opposite of what they looked like.
Right.
And it was, I just kept saying to myself, just don't stop and think. If you don't do that,
just feel,
right.
You know, you'll be in a lot of trouble if you think, because it's scary. It's Whoopi, and it's all these fabulous women, and thank God for Kathy Najimy.
Always.
Thank God.
Always.
She was just her presence.
Yeah.
You know, she became such a dear friend, and I adore her to this day, as you well know. But it was a great experience.
They
once
loved you.
I think so.
They
I
loved
believe
you,
so.
and they couldn't.
And
wait
Whoopi
to
was
do.
amazing. Oh, we had a lot of fun. You know.
Oh, I bet.
Like, you know.
Oh my
that
God.
stuff.
The laughs must have ensued.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's people in nun outfits. Already I'm there.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It was great.
We got a message from Ariana DeBose, the gorgeous goddess that's doing Anita in the Spielberg movie.
Mm-hmm.
She asked what it was like to visit the West Side Story set like a year ago, when they were shooting the new Spielberg West Side Story. What was that experience like?
Well, it was wonderful in that I was very, very happy to go. I was happy to meet a few, because I didn't meet the entire cast, and I wasn't there that long.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt a little cheated, because I wanted to see the kids in action.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And
but he was so sweet.
Oh, Steven Spielberg was so, well, I thought, if anybody can do it,
Yeah.
it's Steven Spielberg, you know. And but you see, I get greedy, because I want it all. I want to see it all. I want to feel it all. I want to be there with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so I didn't get enough time, but I did sit around with some of the girls.
Yeah.
And that was sweet.
The sharp girls.
That
Oh.
that was really sweet. But I wanted to get into the nitty gritty.
I bet you did.
You know, Dolores wanted
Yeah.
to really get into the nitty gritty. Well, she did. She did.
Well, maybe you'll have your chance when it opens, and they'll have big parties, and you'll be part of that. I would venture to say they would love to have you there, and they want Dolores's nitty gritty, if you know what I'm saying. This has just been the best thing ever. I love you both so much for doing this. I miss you both. This has been a real joy for me and for our audience, and I love you both.
Love you so
well, you
much.
know, we love you. We adore you, and we're so happy to be here talking to you. And hop into a car and just get on up here.
Okay. All of us watching.
I'll wear my mask.
Yes.
You know,
Wear
but
your mask.
Please God,
Oh,
this,
please.
you know, this pandemic is over soon.
I have this mask.
Oh. Me like. Oh.
It's a
I heard
very
about the
classy
candle.
show here.
I
Huh?
heard about the candle. That's
What?
you know, you've made it when you have your own candle. Look,
I got a cast party candle.
that is so cool.
Smells so good. Okay, you guys.
Fabulous.
I love you.
Love you.
Thank
Kim.
you. We'll
Miss
see you
you.
very, very, very soon.
Love you, baby.
Mwah.
God bless.
God
Thanks
bless.
for having us.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks.